Just the guy I want to see. I want to talk to you, you know. It's been a while since I've put out a review because I've been busy working on my lecture, which I gave at Brooklyn College, and the full video of that is up on my channel under the name Lawyers, Guns, and Money. Warren Zevon's estate, please don't sue. But right now, we're talking about reviews, and we're gonna go for a real cult classic from a movie studio that I've been actually wanting to get to since I've started this channel. So wait no longer, because today, The Toxic Avenger! I stayed up all night, I'm sick. Let me try that again. The Toxic Avenger! Go to bed. I'm gonna try and get through this review, even though I'm sick. Sick of a lot of things. Anyway, today's review from 1984 is The Toxic Avenger from director Lloyd Kaufman and Troma Studios. For those of you uninitiated, Troma is this low-budget production studio that's been around at least since the 80s, maybe into the 70s, and they're known for very low-budget, very honest filmmaking. One thing that's pretty cool about Troma movies is that they all take place in this fictional town known as Tromaville in New Jersey, quite a lot like the View Askew universe in New Jersey and all of Kevin Smith's films. Troma Studios are known for their low-budget approach, and this movie is no exception. There's lots of badly overdubbed ADR lines, clunky dialogue, wooden acting, and even bad continuity errors, which is strange because there are also moments of subtle continuity in the movie as well, if you pay attention enough. The people who inhabit Tromaville seem to be made up of only two sectors, either completely helpless, nerdy people or very erratic, violent people. And the violent people have pretty much taken charge of the town. It's also worth noting that the citizens are partially the way they are because Tromaville is basically a site for all other towns to dump their waste in. And of course, as this turns out, this becomes a key plot point that makes the Toxic Avenger become who he is. There also seems to be constantly odd dance music playing and people dancing around no matter where the surroundings are. To explain the plot quickly, it's about a nerdy kid who works at this health club, I guess, mopping up, and he's tormented so much so that he jumps out a window one day, lands in a bunch of waste, and then becomes the Toxic Avenger. It's funny, they didn't actually come up with the name of the character until after the movie was made, so when you're actually watching the movie, they only refer to it as the monster. And of course, this movie is also very dark. It warns viewers on the cover, in fact, that there are very violent scenes, as well as right before the movie on screen. What they're referring to, and not to give away the movie, but there are two scenes in particular that audiences had a lot to pick a bone with. First of all, there's a murder of a child, a brutal murder of a child. That scene definitely wakes the viewer up, and it's only about 10 minutes into the movie. So it takes a dark turn very quickly and kind of puts a sour taste in your mouth for the rest of the movie. Not to mention a later scene in which a dog is killed off for no particular reason, other than to shock the audience. Those two moments I felt were just only really in the movie just to sort of, piss people off, shake their cage, and get under their skin, and no other reason than for shock value, honestly. The tone of the movie, unfortunately, is very inconsistent, which was one drawback for me. At one moment, it'll be really funny, and then another moment, you'll just be really pissed off. Other moments, you'll just be bored. One positive I can come away with the movie, though, is that I really enjoyed the Toxic Avenger's muscular, manly voice that he gets. It was a piece of lung that time. Anyway, the movie's unabashedly cliched. You know where all the story beats are going to play out and how it's going to go, and pretty much the audience that they're looking for this movie enjoy two things: titties and violence. That's basically the American audience in a nutshell. But the movie's freewheeling attitude is offset at times when it feels like it probably shouldn't be. It's actually pretty hard to describe the appeal of the movie. I mean, yeah, it's one of those movies where it's so bad it's good, or it's bad on purpose, but even then it's still kind of bad. So I can't exactly recommend it unless you're a fan of low-budget horror movies who don't mind, cruddy writing and so forth. Out of the movies I reviewed, I could maybe compare this to, say, Repo Man, a similar vibe, and it was even released in the same year. So yeah, if you're looking for a movie that doesn't demand much attention or intelligence really, and you're just looking for some TNA and some cheap violence, then this is maybe the stop for you on this train. But if you're looking for a little bit more out of your movie as well, steer clear, conductor, because this is a crash. I really got to plan these out before I talk. Anyway, thanks for listening to me talk. Well, that's it from me. Good night. I'm gonna go to sleep forever now. Stay. Sex. E.